There you go. That's how
Oh
you
shit,
do it.
motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
It's not my first rodeo around here, bitch.
Obviously it is since you got
Obviously,
to ask for it.
Well, I was just wondering if you guys wanted me to press it already.
Okay.
my
Yeah.
question: Ever
Yeah.
been to a rodeo game?
Yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Revolution. This is the Week 8 edition. Let's start with the Week 8 scores.
We have the Reservoir Dogs taking on the San Jose Party Fowlers, with the Reservoir Dogs leading the Party Fowlers 63-54. Cam Newton being the highest scorer currently for the Party Fowlers with 28 points, 219 yards, and 3 total touchdowns. As for the San Jose Party Fowlers, Tyreek Cohen with 18 points, 40 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Now, both teams have at least 2 players to go Monday night, so it's anyone's game.
The San Francisco Shabooms have put up 99 with Patrick Mahomes leading the way with 29 points, 300 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The Flying Gracians have decided to put up 70 points with 2 players, and everyone else is on a bye.
The Cucamonga Cracker Killers beat the C Plus LMAOs 114-100, with Marvin Jones Jr. being the highest scorer with 7 receptions, 117 yards, and 2 touchdowns, giving the Cucamonga Cracker Killers 24 points. As for the C Plus LMAOs, it was also another wide receiver by the name of Mike Evans with 6 receptions, 179 yards, and a touchdown, also giving the C Pluses 24 points.
It's been a brutal week for the Sack King Trolls, who put up 37 points, with the highest score putting up exactly 1/3 of that with Joe Flacco and his 10 points. The 94th and Jocka Mobsters cruise to another win with 109, and Todd Gurley once again puts up 29. What a stud.
The Hayward Huff and Puffs fall again for the second straight week against the South Hayward Fredo Pollos, with the Alfredo Pollos beating the Hayward Huff and Puffs 127-112. Marlon Mack was a stud for the Alfredo Pollos with 132 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, giving the Alfredo Pollos 28 points. As for the Hayward Huff and Puffs, is a tie between Lamar Miller and Denard Hopkins, both giving the Huff and Puffs 21 points, with Lamar Miller with 133 yards and a touchdown. As for Denard Hopkins, it was 6 receptions, 82 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 21 points.
This week, the Alabama Crackheads have won the Electoral College 108-102. We say this because more points per capita were scored by Nightman, but still came up with 102, and the Alabama Crackheads popped up with 108.
Gave me the Donald Trump special, I tell you that much.
Oof. For this week's best and worst player, I'll start with the good. Today, my choice is Adrian Peterson, who put up 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 26 points. Anthony, who you got for the bad?
The bad, I got John Brown, the wide receiver from the Baltimore Ravens, with 28 yards off of 3 receptions, giving him 2 points, which did not help the Nightmen at all.
Now it's time for the segment, That Motherfucker That Helped Nobody. Anthony, this week, what motherfucker helped nobody?
That motherfucker would be Josh Reynolds, wide receiver from the LA Rams, with 3 receptions, 42 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And that motherfucker helped nobody this week.
This week, I have chosen who ends up being quite common around here, with 1 reception, 60 yards, and a touchdown, Chris Herndon, tight end for the New York Jets. That motherfucker keeps going, but he keeps going and helping nobody. And now it's time for All Over Your Bench. This week, I have chosen C Plus's Sammy Watkins, who decided to put up 107 yards on 8 receptions for 2 touchdowns and 24 points. He could have really used it, but instead, it's all over that bench.
For the Cucamonga Cracker Killers, I mean, he really didn't need them, but it could have furthered his point total with Deshaun Watson with 239 yards and 5 touchdowns, given the Cucamonga Cracker Killers 31 points all over that bench.
All right, it has come that time to talk about
Whatever the hell we want.
whatever the fuck we want. And this week it seems to be quite common theme that we talk about the Raiders. And,
Yeah. The terrible Raiders.
and the horrible 49ers.
That's right.
Rock, hard place.
That's right.
Yeah.
Those two teams between it.
So we have Gabe joining us. Unfortunately, we don't have room on the couch, but he is here. He is off camera. You will hear him. You may think of him as the voice of God.
That's right.
That is correct.
That's right. So the Oakland Raiders are 1-6. They have the third worst record in the league. The 49ers are 1-7. They have the worst record in the league. Now, it's only the third worst because they had a bye week, and the Giants have also been losing.
Yeah.
But they still lost in their bye week.
But if we all don't remember, it was Raiders 28, bye week 45.
That's right. The bye week really put a laying into the Raiders.
Yeah, so much so that they wanted to make a comeback, and for about 3 quarters, they really made. Well, you know what? They didn't make me believe. I have no faith.
I have absolutely no faith in them either.
Some people in the Coliseum thought that they were going to win this. They were up by a little bit, and then they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, we're the Raiders," and Marlon Mack came and just destroyed them.
That's right. I mean, if only they had, some type of player who could shut down the run and put pressure on the quarterback. But, I mean, what player do they have on that team that
they used to have a guy. What was his name?
Yeah, it was number 52.
Yeah.
It started with an M.
Yeah, it started with an M. I guess he kind of was, his last name is named after a truck with a bulldog on it. Oh, that's right. Khalil Mack.
That's right.
Because as everyone knows, you fight fire with fire. So if you want to stop a Marlon Mack, you need a Khalil Mack
to stop the Mack.
See, that would have been such. At least it would have been cool sounding. But no. Instead he's out there doing it big for the Bears. The Bears.
Bears.
How do you guys think Amari Cooper's gonna do over there with the Cowboys?
I don't know. I think he went from one mediocre quarterback to another. I mean, he wasn't doing that well in Oakland. Everyone thought he was going to be. So,
true.
I mean, going to Dallas, I think he might put in the same production as he did in Oakland.
More than likely.
He might surprise you.
Yeah, then again.
He's made some few good plays in the past when they were actually targeting him more. No, but
so as we all know,
We'll
he's
see.
we have nicknamed him, Fire and Ice.
Yeah.
He'll put up 200 yards, he'll put up 2 touchdowns, maybe 3, or he'll get thrown to twice, catch none, and just walk around slouching.
Right. But, I mean, if he's a human, it depends on the situation. If he's on the right team and he's playing the right scheme, he'll give you the production that you're looking for.
And, say what you want. There's at least a quarter where Dak Prescott, he lets it fly. There's, I think he's way more willing to do it than Derek Carr right now.
Right.
I think that Dallas has a better play calling. Now, I don't want to give Jason Garrett too much credit, or what to the circus that he has going on over there in Dallas. But I think the situation in that regard is better. I think just the pure fact change of scenery will be good.
Right.
I think that playing indoors will be pretty will help him out. I think it'll help with his speed and running. And he's had 2 weeks off. So He's been resting, so whatever has been bothering him, hopefully he's getting over it. But I think mainly just the big change of scenery which should at least affect him in a positive way,
Right.
where he'll at least do something.
Right.
Especially because he's still on my roster, and I need him to do something out there.
Right. I mean, he's got a week to learn the Dallas's playbook. I mean, a week is not long, but he should at least know some of the plays.
Okay. That thing is written with crayon, so I bet he'll probably pick it up quickly. I'm sure.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's Jason Garrett, for Christ's sake.
for Christ's sake. All right, but back to the toilet bowl. Thursday night, and let's just we're gonna do a quick preview of it because, well, it's the game on Thursday, and that's what we're gonna do. So the Oakland Shits at the San Francisco Craps.
That's right.
The 49ers are favored by 3 points.
Wow.
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 And let's not kid ourselves. If you know anything about gambling, we know when the home team always gets 3 points, and then any point after that is basically how much respect and the casinos are giving them. So at 3 points at home to a 1-6 team, that means that they have zero confidence. They think that this is going to be a shitty game. But get this. And I get my stats from the Vegas casinos, little Caesars Palace. I don't know. Maybe these fools think that combined, they're going to put up 47.5 points.
What?
The over-under on this game is 47.5. Which is actually the lowest one I've found. Some were 48. 47.5 on two teams that have a combined 2 wins. They're essentially fighting for the number 1 pick. Because the Raiders will lose again. The Giants are going to run into a win. Let's not kid anyone. The race for the number 1 pick, it's between these two teams. The Bay Area will pick number 1. Somebody, even though the Raiders are going to leave. But somebody from the Bay Area will pick number 1. This much is guaranteed. But I think the attitude has sort of changed, and it's kind of one of the things where the narrative has gone from before week 1, where we're like, if you're on one side, we're gonna win. The other side, we're like, no, fuck that, we're gonna win because we got Garoppolo.
That's right.
Well, our car's gonna drive right through that sumbitch. Fuck all that. Pierre Boy's gonna catch touchdowns every 16 games, bitch. He hasn't caught one yet, puta. We're gonna win.
That's right.
Two. Yo ass gonna win.
You're gonna win this. We're gonna take that Bosa kid. Nah, we're taking Bosa kid number 1. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. No. And then we're gonna do the whole Barch thing.
That's right.
This game has been projected to be among the, if not the lowest rated football game on Thursday night. And I fucking love it.
Oh, I predict that stadium is going to be empty
Oh, I fucking love
way
it.
before the game starts.
Oh, I love it. And I'm going to tell you why. This is what both teams fucking deserve. The Raiders more so than the 49ers, because you can say what you want. The Raiders are tanking. Okay, John Gruden is tanking. He doesn't want to win. He knows he doesn't have to win until 2020 when he gets to the Thunderdome.
That's right.
So I'm sure that he is mad that he hasn't won. I'm sure that he's pissed at the perception that everyone's talking crap. Like he's not a good coach. He's not a good coach.
He's a horrible coach.
He's not a good coach.
He's absolutely gutting the team.
Yeah, man. He should have just stayed in Monday Night Football.
Just stay in Monday Night Football. He's gutting the team. He wants his fingerprints all over this. And believe me, your fingerprints are all over this, John.
Nobody's gonna take credit for it from
No,
you.
no one's gonna want to take credit for this.
No, sir.
No one.
Nobody.
And even if you win, you're not gonna win in Oakland. And it's obvious that you're not planning to win in Oakland. And I've come to terms with it. I'm just more upset with the fact that you're letting the city down, man. Not cool. Both teams are going through either heavy injuries like the 49ers or heavy roster harrowing, because that's all I can say. I mean, this is like when a farmer they're just plowing at the earth just because they're gonna start a whole new crop with something different, something that's just completely new. Right. That's the only way you can describe this. The Raiders are being harrowed to nothing. But they got 3 number ones. They got 3 number ones next year. And yay.
Yeah, 3 number ones. He might flip some of those for
Derek Carr scored. Hey, Derek Carr played well. And guess what? The trade deadline's on Tuesday. So
we'll see.
We'll see. The Jaguars are calling. This much I know. The Jaguars are calling. Because they got trash over there in Jacksonville.
Bortles.
Plague piece of shit.
Bortles. Who is that guy?
Anyway.
So, yeah, this game, it won't be 48. It'll probably be like, I don't know, 35 or something.
So I think 35 might be generous. No way 47. No way 48. I'm gonna go way under on this game. If I had to pick, based on what I've seen, let's not forget the 49ers were up 5-3 at one point against the Arizona Cardinals today. So they're kind of fluky on how many points they're going to score, but they're not going to score a lot. And you never know you never know what they're going to do, because you would expect that they're going to play up to the competition. Like it felt like they were gonna against Kansas City, like they did against Green Bay. But then they get clobbered by the Rams. You could claim division game for the Rams, and that, those games are always kind of fluky. But the Rams are a much more talented team. The Rams won because they're a better team.
Oh yeah.
And they got destroyed. They did not even try to play up like they did against Green Bay. So you just don't know what they're going to do. I would argue that they only played up to the competition against Green Bay, and they only tried against Kansas City, but that's when they lost Jimmy Garoppolo.
Right.
This team won't put up a lot of points because they're going to be at home. They haven't played well at home. They don't score points at home. They barely score points on the road. They've only won one game, and that one's against the Detroit Lions. And they were a freaking mess. They were a freaking mess, and Patricia got his shit handed to him by his old second-string quarterback. But that we're going to call that an isolated incident, because this team is terrible. They don't have their starting quarterback. They don't have their starting running back. They never had a wide receiver that was worth anything. Pierre Boy.
Gone. Nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere to be seen. It's been 19 games. And I'm going to crush you every week because it's been 19 games. Now, Granted, he didn't play today, but that doesn't mean we're not going to crush him because he's still getting paid for this week, and he's probably going to get traded. He's probably going to get traded on Tuesday because they got nothing else. They have no wide receiver. The only shining spot that they have is at tight end, which you want to say it's a good thing, but it's never a good thing when your best offensive player is a tight end.
That's right.
That is not a good thing. That's the only positive thing that they could say.
That's right. Tight end can't win a game for you.
No. But they're trying.
Yeah.
The one thing you can see on the field is that they're trying. And when they don't get it, which is a lot, they all look very demoralized. And when the Raiders play, it's like they know what the situation is internally. So they're just going through the motions like, well, fuck it, we're 1-6. And I think everyone knows that they're not going to be on this team.
No.
No one who's there now, whether they're good or not, is going to remain on this team.
No, they're not. Not at all.
I
They
mean-
know they're trade bait. I mean, any moment, any player on that team could be traded.
Any player, even
Any player.
Derek Carr is definitely on the table.
Yeah, nobody is safe.
They can say whatever they want, but I'm not sure that Derek Carr is going to make it
Right.
because they have a lot of picks. Like we said earlier, they have 3 number 1 picks in the first round in 2019. So if they get number 1, they can still take the Bosa. I'm forgetting his first name, so I'm going to call him the Bosa kid. He can still be had, and I haven't seen how deep the quarterback pool is next year, but they should have definitely enough to choose whoever they want. They can move up and down however they choose, or they can just trade picks and move to an even better spot to see if they have someone even that year, so they can have like the biggest stud in 2020.
Right.
I mean, they can go all sorts of ways.
Right. I mean, the possibilities are literally endless. I mean, they could trade some of their first round picks for a veteran that could help them next year develop the new players, the young players that they have
Oh yeah.
for next year.
Oh yeah, then I mean Pierre Garçon's a terrible example, but that's definitely having a veteran presence to come in is definitely worth at least that.
Right.
If you develop the guy that you want. But Derek Carr isn't safe because Khalil Mack wasn't safe because Amari Cooper wasn't safe. Nobody is safe on this roster. So they don't give a shit.
No, they do not.
No one's playing to be here long term. Nobody. So they're not going to give a shit.
No.
Which is, I think, why they can put up 28 points and a half and then do nothing and then lose. And then lose. They are just so disappointing, Anthony.
Very.
Wow.
And-
they are super disappointing.
And I try to be angry, but they're just so disappointing.
I knew they were garbage as soon as they hired John Gruden. I was like, it's over. And when they decided to move to Las Vegas, I was like, oh yeah, it's really over. All right.
Not only they're making all these other weird moves,
Which make no sense.
just make no sense.
But, I mean, in the mind of John Gruden, it makes sense to him, so what does he care?
And you know what? You're right. John Gruden believes in his head that he's doing all the right things. He thinks we're all playing checkers and he's playing chess. He is 5 steps ahead when we're all watching him, bringing out the Monopoly pieces when, come on, dude, we're playing chess.
Right.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on, guy. Come on.
Come on, guy.
Want to move on to Monday night? Or?
No, because we're still going to put up a score, man.
Oh, that's right.
All right. So we inevitably have to give up some kind of preview for this game, but it's going to be atrocious. It's going to be a shit game. I'm going to watch it live. We're going to have plenty of barbecue, plenty of beer. So we're going to have a good time. The game's going to be shit, but we're going to have a good time. Over under, way down. I actually think that this game is going to be so bad that we are going to rely on field goals and safeties.
Safeties.
Field goals and safety.
Field goals and
safeties.
safeties.
You heard it here first, folks.
Okay. So like I said, way under, and I'm gonna go tie game. 7-7. Hold on. Field goal, safety, 7 points, no touchdowns, overtime, nobody scores, everyone throws interceptions, time runs out, dramatic fashion, everyone kissed their sister, tie game, 7-7, no touchdowns, Thursday night. Anthony, what do you got, man?
Oh, man. Shoot. This game is so terrible, I don't even want to give a prediction. But since I do have to give a prediction, I'll be a little bit more generous. I think the Raiders will score at least 15 and maybe 14. They'll score 2 touchdowns. And I think San Francisco will come in and just play their hearts out for their coach and their injured quarterback. And they will most likely just put up 13. They'll probably miss a field goal, an extra point or something.
I definitely see that.
All right, my prediction is 10-14 Niners. Just because the way the Raiders are playing, man, they're dragging ass out there. Like you said, they have no heart. Their heart is gone. You know? Which some say that was Khalil Mack. They often said it whenever they won a game. Khalil Mack, he did it for us, man. He's the heart and soul of this team.
All right.
You know? What does Gruden do?
He rips it out.
He rips that fucking heart out, sends it to Chicago, first class. You know?
That's right, man. That's right.
So yeah, they're
They
just
got-
gonna drag ass out there. I think the Niners are gonna come out there, play their hearts out, you know, and get that win, get 2 touchdowns with the extra points, pull out that victory, and everybody's gonna go home still feeling like shit because their team still suck.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Their
Pretty much.
teams just suck.
Oh, yeah. For real. For real.
I'm just amazed you guys think a touchdown is going to be scored.
Well, I mean, a touchdown will be
You guys-
scored. I mean, they at least the Raiders scored a couple touchdowns this week. So, I mean, they're able to score touchdowns. It's just, you know,
All
not a
right.
short week, but we'll see.
What do you think is likelier? An offensive touchdown or a defensive one, including special teams?
I think an offensive touchdown.
You think
The
so?
Yeah, the Raiders don't have that type of defense to be scoring on defense. So, yeah.
Yeah,
no-
but CJ Beathard has a type of turnover action that he'll just give him one.
Yeah, but I don't think the Raiders' defense will make Beathard that much bad. Like, I think CJ Beathard will score at least 1 touchdown. It's going to be thrown to George Kittle. So,
Well, I sure hope so. George Kittle's such a beast, man.
sure is. That's a great pickup. That's a great accusation. Not accusation, but
Acquisition.
acquisition. Not accusation. Acquisition.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Hey, so check this out. The Boston Red Sox have won the World Series. 3-1 over the bitch ass Dodgers.
Hell yeah.
Dodgers got 1 game. They
Nah.
lost. They lost. Because you know what? That dude that you pay $30 million to pitch, he fucking sucks
That's right.
in the fucking World Series.
He sucks in the postseason.
Clayton Kershaw, you're a beast, man. You're okay. So before Peyton Manning won a championship, he was always known as the greatest regular season quarterback. Well, Clayton Kershaw is the greatest regular season pitcher, but he is atrocious
He's atrocious in the postseason.
in the postseason. And then he tricks you into thinking you're gonna win, and then he'll sneak in some in the ALDS and the NLDS and the NLCS. He gets a World Series, man, which he did this year and last year, and he fucking lost it.
Yeah, man, he
lost.
gave up a lot of runs tonight. Gave up at least three runs. And that's why Boston was able to win 5-1 or something.
Oh yeah, he fucking took him out.
Yeah.
And I will say, as a Giants fan, I would say this the second greatest feeling for a Giants fan, other than the Giants winning the World Series, would be to watch the Dodgers lose the World Series
Again.
Because I always root against them, man.
That's right. And they didn't have to wait till past Halloween to lose
No.
the World Series. It came early this year.
But it was just, and then I was okay. So I always root for them. I always root against them in the regular season. But if they make the postseason and the Giants don't, there's like a sick part of me that roots for them a little bit, just so that they can just have their hearts just ripped out of their chests in the World Series. So I like to think that even though the Giants had shitty seasons, it was a pretty good baseball season for me. I got the second thing I wanted.
Nice.
All right, it's time for the Monday night preview. We have the New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Patriots are favored by 14 points, and the over-under of this game is 44.5. Now, I would like to point out that the over-under on this game that features the New England Patriots is less than the over-under on a game that features the Oakland Raiders and the San Francisco 49ers.
That's right. The over-under is less than the shit bowl.
Now, I understand that the Buffalo Bills are pretty shitty, and they will also bring you down. I just thought that was funny. But the Patriots are, again, favored by 14, and I agree. This is going to be a short one because I 100% agree. I think the Patriots are, as we all know, the class of not just the AFC, of the NFL. Plus if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Right.
And the Buffalo Bills are just that terrible.
They are pretty terrible.
They don't know what they're doing
Not
as
at
an
all.
organization,
Mm-mm.
and it trickles down effectively all the way to the bottom. I heard they don't scrub their toilets, so that goes to show.
Pretty disgusting.
Oh, yeah. The Buffalo Bills will lose this game.
Yeah, they will.
This isn't going to be one of those fluky things when they just show up to play, because they always lose to the Patriots. The Patriots always win. It doesn't matter where the game takes place. I want to say that Tom Brady has lost to the Buffalo Bills a total of 2 times, maybe a third, in his entire career. So, the Buffalo Bills will not win this game. They will score absolutely nothing. I'm going to go over, but I think that that's because the New England Patriots are going to put up 45 points all over the Buffalo Bills, who in garbage time will put up 17.
The Bills?
The Bills.
17 in garbage time?
The Bills will run into one somewhere in the beginning, and they're going to put up 10 at the end for absolutely no reason.
I know, right?
45-17, New England Patriots. Anthony,
5-17.
what you got?
Yeah, I'll take the Patriots just because they're the Patriots. And you know what? I think I'm going to call it shutout. I think,
Ooh.
yeah. I think the Patriots will shut out the Bills. I don't see the Bills finding a way to win this, even at home. Their defense is all right, but Tom Brady's just gonna chuck it. He's just gonna throw it. He has 2 running backs that he can use since his main running back is hurt, the rookie Michaels. He has Julian Edelman as his wide receiver. I heard Rob Gronkowski might still be hurt, so he might be without his tight end. But, Tom Brady has other weapons to throw to. So I think it's going to be a shutout. It's going to be that over. I think they're going to shut him out 45-0. They're going to run up the score.
You heard it. With that, see you week 9.